Welcome back, Nick Lenz's Comic Corner, classic / non-classic. This is episode number 278 and Doubleshot number 209. First up, it is Superman, Wonder Woman, Volume 3, Casualties of War. At this point, this is the second writer for the series, and the last known one because the series has been discontinued. Written by Piero J. Tomasi, and the artist is Doug Mahnke, who is not a bad artist, I gotta admit. Yeah, he's actually really good. He's a nice replacement for Tony S. Daniel. Now, one thing nice about this series is that it brings in characters into the current continuity. In this one, they bring in a bunch. I mean, the first ones to bring in was Major Disaster and Atomic Skull, of all people. Yes. I think Major Disaster is I know he was a member of the Injustice League. I'm trying to remember. I know that the Atomic Skull introduced in here. He's actually the second Atomic Skull, which I was a little bit surprised to see that I'm not a little bit surprised bringing him in, that version. I think it'd be kind of weird to bring in the original one, to say the least. Yeah, it'd be just quite bizarre, to say the least. But bring in those two along with Mammoth and Jinx. Of course, Mammoth does later return for the Titans Hunt series. They also bring in Mogog, a character who was originally showed up in the pages of Justice Society America, who later got an ongoing series, and got killed during Justice League Generation Lost. And they also brought in longtime Wonder Woman enemy, Circe. Yep. Yeah, I was kind of surprised to see her. I mean, I'm thinking that, come on. There you are. Alright, Major Disaster is he made his first start as a Green Lantern villain who later reformed. As far as I can tell, the original version of him, the one that just in the pre-Flash universe, he's dead. He got killed off in Suicide Squad. Okay, fine. I kind of like the fact they brought him in. But the Mogog character who posed as Wonder Star, there was a rumor he could be the son of Superman and Superwoman. That was proven completely untrue. Now, this book covers issues 13 to 17 of the 29-issue series. Yeah, it was discontinued back in, I believe it was March. Was it March? No, it was May. May was when they discontinued the series after publishing 29 issues and 2 annuals, which is not too bad for this series. Now, pretty much Circe also tries, like, her plot here is to take control of Superman and take on Wonder Woman. Fine. So, since the series is called Superman Wonder Woman, why not bring in some old villains that have not been introduced yet? Okay, so out of all the villains, there's only like one Superman villain, one Wonder Woman villain, a former Green Lantern villain, and 2 enemies of the Teen Titans. Of course, Mogog, who's a former hero. But all the issues in here are written really well. I mean, it's just a series of adventures for these two working together. I mean, it doesn't become an actual, like, a regular... I mean, these issues are loosely connected to each other because the character of originally Warstar, then became Mogog. I was kind of surprised to see the guy. If you wonder what the guy looks like, let's see here. I know there's a page in here that actually doesn't show a full picture of him. Let me see here. Here he is. This is Mogog here on this 2-page spread. Circe looks different than she was depicted in pre-Flashpoint. Yeah. For some reason, and it's never explained here why, Circe, who was, like I said, a long-time Wonder Woman villain. Let's see, what's a good page with her? Let's see here. I know she's in here. Let's see where she is. Here she is. This is Cersei. Yep, that is what Doug Mankey. This is his redesign of a classic Wonder Woman villain, Cersei, and she's kind of like the main villain of this story. It's also odd though that Jinx and Monmouth are in here. Of course, yeah, like I said, he appears tiny a ton, but it's like okay, so out of all the villains, Cersei is the only A-list villain in here. Basically, you have Major Disaster, who is a former C-list villain. You have one C-list villain, one A-list villain, and all the rest of the villains are B-listers. Okay, fine. Like I said, this is still good. And I do recommend people try this series out. It's not that bad of a series despite its name. 9 out of 10. Good book. Next up is Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 4, Original Sin by Brian Michael Bendis, and artwork by Ed McGuinness, and Veldero Shati, who co-draws issue 20. Now there are two story arcs in here. One is the Original Sin tie-in, even though it really doesn't feel like a tie-in at all. Excuse me. And the story is what happened to this guy, Richard Rider, who is coming back. I do know that. Like, what happened in the Cancerverse? Finally, we get an explanation. Now, at this point in time, when this storyline came, when this three-part story goes, there's 6 issues in here. 1823. For 1820, that's Original Sin tie-in. You see, Thanos, Star-Lord, and Drax have been mysteriously brought back after they apparently have been killed off during events of the Thanos Imperative. It was a 6-issue limited series released in 2010, meant to wrap up the loose ends, meant to wrap up the storylines established by the previous volume before this one, and Volume 4 of Nova, which at that point featured Richard Rider. Yeah, Gamora asking, like, what the heck happened to Cancerverse? Well, let's explain that apparently they were fighting for a while, and also for some weird reason, with the exception of Richard Rider, almost any time that any of the other 3 characters try to kill each other, they come back butt-ass naked. I am not kidding about this. I'm not going to show them. Like, of course, you have this gorgeous 2-page spread by Emma. Again, this is really good. Now, in case you're wondering, why the heck does Star-Lord look like this for? Why isn't he wearing his current costume? There is an explanation for this. The reason why he is dressed like this is because that's what he was wearing during the Dan Abnett ending landing run for Guardians of the Galaxy. It's not Brian Michael Bendis who came up with the modernization of the Guardians of the Galaxy. It was Dan Abnett ending landing. Marvel doesn't tend to forget that. Some people who have read the books over the years tend to forget that because of how much this has been put to the forefront. Now, also at that point in time, all the Guardians wore the same uniform. Even Groot wore a uniform during that period of time. Of course, people think of the Guardians of the Galaxy, people think of them wearing this. Yeah, all these outfits. They're all wearing the same costume. And Gamora was wearing sort of a revealing costume at that point. Like everyone knows how now she wears this jumpsuit. That at this point, of course, now she wears the outfit sported by the actress who plays her in the film Guardians of the Galaxy, Zoe Saldana, and Star-Lord is wearing the costume worn by Chris Pratt, the actor who plays Star-Lord in the movie. Well, his first outfit, he wore 2 outfits in the movie, and Gamora wore 2 outfits as well. That's simply how they're depicted now. But Thanos, one thing interesting about Thanos, no artist has ever dared to change his look. I think maybe, my theory when it comes to that, Jim Starlin must have written in his contract. He doesn't care where he's put. Don't change his look. Don't change his outfit at all. Keep him exactly where he is. That's probably what Jim Starlin did when he first created this character back in the 70s. And of course, yes, he created Gamora and he created Drax the Destroyer. Now, oh yeah, he also created Pip the Troll, who is a supporting character in the Drax ongoing series by Colin Bunn and former WWE wrestler CM Punk. But, yeah, just an explanation of what happened. And some of it simply, oh yeah, and the main villains of the story is not Thanos, surprisingly. They face off against, let's see if I can find it here. Of course, there's a variant covered here done by Alex Ross. And for some reason, and it's never explained here, like, how the heck did Star-Lord get his hands on a cosmic cube? He must have stolen it from Captain America or something like that, I don't know. It's a possibility, but that's my theory. Now, in this Cancerverse, that's where they are. These are their version of the Avengers. These are the Ravagers. These are evil Avengers. Basically, you have evil versions of Iron Man, Giant Man, looks like Scarlet Witch, Miss Marvel, and Thor, and of course Captain America. And they all wear, and Captain America's got pentagrams, one in his forehead, one in his chest. Yeah. These guys first show up during the Thanos period of, it was during the Realm of Kings crossover, which led into Thanos Imperative. That's where these guys showed up. Though, no editor's box to explain who the heck these guys are. The only reason why I know who these guys are, because I've read Thanos Imperative. It's an awesome miniseries. Go find it if you can. Along with Dan Abbott ending Landing Run. Yeah. But, at the end of the story, they revealed that, like, what happened to Rich Raider? Oh, he's dead. Yep, Bendis kind of confirmed. I mean, he didn't technically kill him off. Dan Abbott and Lennon did that 4 years prior to the story coming out. But all he did was just confirm it. That's all he did. Some people think, oh, Bendis killed off Richard Raider, a popular character. No, he just confirmed it. That's all he did. He just confirmed the fact that he's definitely dead. Though he is coming back. Thank you for that. And it's a nice 3-parter. Despite the fact being Original Sin tie-in, it really isn't. It has nothing to do with Original Sin. It's just a story that people have been wanting Bendis to tell at this point for 2 years because he brought back the Guardians during his 8-issue run for the series Avengers Assemble. The series itself has been discontinued. Was discontinued, I think it was about 2 years ago it discontinued? Yeah, it was 2 years ago it was discontinued. It was 3 years ago. Right now it's been 3 years since the series has been discontinued. But, yeah, he brought them back, and it took 2 years to finally answer the big question of how the heck are these 3 characters alive and where happened to Richard Raider? But as far as I know right now, Bendis has still not answered one important question from that 3-part story. I mean, he has explained as of right now how Star-Lord, Thanos, and Drax are alive. He has explained how the Guardians came back together. Okay, he's explained those 2 things. But there's still a third question he is still not answering. I'm sure a lot of people asked this. How the heck did the Guardians know Thanos was on Earth? That, as far as I know, 4 years after that 8-part storyline came out, he has still not told anybody how the heck they found out he was on Earth. But that's still a really good story. The other story in here is a 3-parter called Planet of the Symbiotes. Now, some people can say that this 3-parter is just a backdoor pilot to the Venom Space Knight series. And that's essentially what it is. It's just set up for that series. I guess Bendis was like, okay, I'm hearing about this, like he probably had heard ahead of time that Venom was going to get its own spin-off series. Because people have been wanting a Venom series at this point in time for about a year. They want Venom to get a series back in. He does get a series the following year, and of course right now, I think it's like 10 issues in right now. It's an awesome series by Robbie Thompson. So, the Planet of the Symbiote storyline is simply like how he gets his current look that he has in the series. Which, his brand new look is, basically, yeah. And of course, it does explain like what the heck happened to Venom. And of course, during the story, almost all the Guardians get a chance to actually wear the Venom symbiote, which I thought was quite funny. The fact that all of them got a chance to wear it. And we got kind of a new backstory of the I wouldn't say it's a retcon in a way, but it actually gives the species an actual name. Now this right here, this is what the new Venom look is. And this is what he looks in the Venom ongoing series when he's wearing the suit, when he's not having the open mouth thing. Now, after the storyline came out, Venom didn't really appear that much in the remaining issues after this because this volume ended 4 issues later. He didn't really appear in those final 4 issues, but he did appear in the first 2 issues of Guardians Team Up, which takes place probably before Black Vortex. But otherwise, though, he had nothing really much to do with this volume of Guardians of the Galaxy after that 3-part storyline wrapped up. He is still part of the Guardians. That is true. He's still part of the Guardians. One of my biggest criticisms of this volume is the fact that they have promoted that Captain Marvel was going to join the team, and she's barely featured in the book. I mean, she joins in the last couple issues of the arc that preceded the original Sin stuff. She's seen in this Planet of the Symbiote story, and then she's seen in the Black Vortex. She doesn't do that much at all, probably because she's got her own spin-off series. So my guess is they must have limited appearance because of that. But despite the name Original Sin and the first 3 issues of Original Sin tie-ins, zero to do with Original Sin. The only reason why that the book was put under the Original Sin logo is for marketing purposes. That's my theory, and I'm sticking to it, because normally when you have these tie-ins, they usually kind of expand on plot points that happen during an actual main storyline. This has nothing to do with Original Sin at all. They just put it on there for marketing purposes, and also people have wanted to figure this out. Maybe Gamora probably got this unlocked, or what happened in issue, I believe it was issue 2, when the orb detonated that Eye of the Watchers, created that truth bomb. That's my guess what could have sparked this, but honestly, this has nothing to do with Original Sin at all. But it's still, these are still 6 really good issues of this volume, and I do recommend this. I give this book a 9 out of 10, and don't insult, and Bendis does not deserve the insults he gets for that 3-part story, which confirmed this guy's death. He just confirmed it, but we are getting him back. Thank you for that. I mean, the book itself is only about 2 years old. Still good. Alright, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode, which should be episode 279 and Doubleshot 210. Till then, see you there. Bye.